Trump's second term, what is at stake for Muslims? The White House's Middle East policies, especially Israel's bombardment of Gaza since October 7, 2023, have become a great test for Muslim communities. While calls for a ceasefire were rising in the international sphere, Joe Biden's openly pledged allegiance to the Israeli cause has fueled a serious reaction among Muslims. The fact that Biden was forced to withdraw from the presidential race and Kamala Harris came to the fore as the Democratic Party's flag bearer was presented as a new hope. The Muslim community's loss of trust in the Democratic and Republican parties led them to turn to Green Party candidate Jill Stein. Stein's sensitivity to the humanitarian crises in Gaza, the West Bank and Lebanon has been a beacon of hope for them. In fact, the American Arab and Muslim Political Action Committee, AMPAC, an influential Muslim organization in the U.S., decided to strongly support Stein's candidacy. According to a poll conducted by the Council on American Islamic Relations, CAIR, 53.2% of Muslim voters voted for Jill Stein and 21.4% for Trump, while Harris received only 20.3% of the vote. However, the re-election of Donald Trump as the 47th U.S. president has significant implications for Muslim communities worldwide. This outcome underscores the complexities of American democracy, where minority voices often struggle to influence the decisions of the broader population. For Muslims, this moment serves as a reminder to reflect on their faith in Allah's sovereignty, as stated in Surah Al-Imran, verse 26, "Say, O Allah, owner of sovereignty, you give sovereignty to whom you will and you take sovereignty away from whom you will. You honor whom you will and you humble whom you will. In your hand is all good. Indeed, you are over all things competent." Potential consequences of Trump's victory on Muslim communities. Donald Trump's re-election as the 47th U.S. president has sparked concerns among Muslim communities, given his previous administration's policies and rhetoric that alienated many Muslims. His lackadaisical attitude toward Muslim concerns and agitation raises questions about the implications of his return to power. Therefore, the potential consequences of Donald Trump's next administration on Muslim communities, both locally and internationally, are a pressing concern. Locally, Muslims may face increased discrimination, prejudice, and marginalization, exacerbating existing social tensions. The administration's policies and rhetoric have already emboldened hate groups, leading to a surge in hate crimes against Muslims. Additionally, the targeting of Muslim communities through surveillance and profiling programs, such as the so-called Countering Violent Extremism (CV) initiative, may continue. Donald Trump's rhetoric during his presidential campaign sparked concerns among various communities, including Muslim Americans. At a rally in Pennsylvania, Trump claimed that Yemen was sending known terrorists to America, stating, "They're coming out of Yemen. A lot of people are coming out of Yemen." He further emphasized, "Well, stop it immediately. We're going to deport these people. We're going to get them out of our country, or we won't have a country." This statement has raised eyebrows, particularly among Yemeni Americans, who feel targeted by Trump's words. Globally, Trump's re-election may have far-reaching consequences, particularly in the Middle East. His administration's stance on Middle East crisis may further polarize relations between the U.S. and Muslim-majority countries. The potential for increased military intervention, coupled with divisive rhetoric, may escalate tensions and create humanitarian crises. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's administration has been portrayed as less of an instrument for Zionists in fighting wars in the Middle East due to his America First stance, which prioritizes domestic interests over international involvement. This approach has led to confusion and criticism from allies and adversaries alike. Trump's actions, such as withdrawing from the Iranian nuclear deal and imposing sanctions, have been seen as contradictory to the interests of Zionist groups. Additionally, his reluctance to engage in military conflicts in the Middle East, despite his tough rhetoric, has raised questions about his commitment to supporting Israel's interests. However, it is essential to note that Trump's policies have still had significant implications for the region. His decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital and relocate the U.S. embassy there has been widely criticized by Palestinian leaders and other regional actors. Trump's promise to Muslims. Remarkably, Donald Trump's surprise gain among Muslim voters was a turning point in his campaign, fueled by his bold promise to end the Middle East conflict. This shift in support was particularly evident in Dearborn, America's largest Arab American community, where preliminary results showed Trump taking the lead, a stark contrast to 2020 when President Joe Biden won decisively. According to Bill Bazzi, the Lebanese-American mayor of Dearborn Heights, Trump's message of peace resonated with voters. People got the message that Trump is trying to bring peace to the Middle East and to the whole world, Bazzi stated, speaking from a lively gathering that turned into an early morning celebration. However, skepticism remains about Trump's ability to deliver on his promises. His past actions in the Middle East have been met with criticism, with some experts arguing that his policies have weakened the U.S. position in the region. The killing of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani, for instance, escalated tensions and raised concerns about the potential for broader conflict. In another development, Donald Trump's stance on certain issues, such as canceling gender affirmation laws for children, is being seen as aligning with values held by Muslim communities. More so, his emphasis on traditional family values and his stance on LGBTQ+ matters could resonate with similar values held by Muslim communities. This perspective suggests that Trump's administration may introduce policies that resonate with these communities, potentially providing a sense of relief and familiarity and as well bring the needed sanity to the global village. In this context, Muslim communities, advocates, and allies must remain vigilant and proactive in promoting inclusivity, challenging discriminatory policies, and fostering greater understanding and empathy. Also, it is essential to look beyond the past and solidify faith in Allah, recognizing that even challenging situations can hold hidden blessings, as stated in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 216, "But perhaps you hate a thing and it is good for you, and perhaps you love a thing and it is bad for you. And Allah knows, while you know not." By adopting this mindset and working together, Muslims can transform challenges into opportunities for growth, unity, and positive change.